Greetings, valued viewers, and welcome to a quick edition of the Independent Mail. If you happen to already be a subscriber, please may I beg you to hit that notification bell so that you are notified of future videos and shorts and now live streams. Yes, the Independent Mail is now streaming live on Mondays at midnight, Thursdays at midnight, and sometimes Saturday at midnight. So if you don't mind, as most of you know, this week has had yet another Thornton Township meeting canceled. Many of us waited for an hour online and some of us in person for good old Tiff Tiff to roll up and say that the meeting had been postponed until Friday at 1 p.m. So just to recap, good old Miss Henyard was an hour late and 3 other trustees were completely missing. In fact, the only interesting thing that happened the whole time I was watching was getting to see good old O'Shea Duke Jackson be a player from the Himalayas all the way in Uganda. That and Who's Missing roll call.
Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. O'Shea, we can sandal it up with that. Thank you. Look, he said that. O'Shea, you don't know what that meant to me. I'm having a hard time today getting a cold shoulder up in here. So you just showing love, late night crew showing love. All y'all big YouTubers, please listen to us YouTubers that's here on the ground. I beg of you, listen to us. So we're waiting. So this is what happened. So we don't have the supervisor. Okay, we don't have this. This might be easier if I do this. So if we do this paper here, we have to have at least 3 trustees. So far we have the clerk here. So Tiffany Henyard is not present. The clerk is present. Cassandra is not here either. Okay. And then Happy, the highway commissioner, is here. We're missing Gerald Jones. We're missing Darlene Gray Everett, and we're missing Chris Gonzalez. Chris Gonzalez is here, and we're missing Carmen Carlisle. So we're missing about 4 people.
The funny thing is, I had already made this silly thumbnail acting like good old Tiff Tiff had kidnapped the other trustees when I saw Hannibal is Hungry's video. Hannibal is Hungry had a theory that's actually way more plausible and maybe even more sinister than the one I laid out in my thumbnail. Let's check it out.
Tiffany Henyard thinks that she is slick. Imagine that you are the supervisor of the Thornton Township and you have received a lot of bad publicity over the last couple of months. It's possible that you may receive an indictment by the FBI, but you still want a fat raise. So the budget for the township is coming up for next year. So you decide, let me sneak in a big raise. And what's the big deal? Most people don't check out these meetings. However, you are mistaken because a concerned citizen decided to talk about it publicly and a lot of people showed up for the next meeting to discuss it. What do you do?
Good evening, everybody. Thank you guys for coming out this evening. I am Supervisor Tiffany Henyard, the People Supervisor. I want to thank you for coming out to hear from the department heads, the finance department as relates to the budget. But unfortunately, we will have to postpone our meeting until Friday at 1 p.m. due to the fact of lack of quorum. So I came down to tell you guys this. So I will see you guys Friday at 1 o'clock. Thank you so much for coming out.
The crowd about to throw tomatoes.
And that's exactly what the Super Mayor did. She found a way to reschedule the meeting for Friday at 1 p.m. A very clever move, but also very transparent move that she is trying to avoid any kind of scrutiny, any kind of publicity by trying to slide this in on a Friday at 1 p.m., which is what people do when you're trying to bury news stories. You try to bury a news story by having it published on Fridays because most people are not paying attention. They're trying to look forward to the weekend. They're planning their weekends. They're not really caring about what's going on. Most people have to work. Most people have things to do. At 1 p.m. is not even a time when most people be out of work.
Could Mayor Henyard be capable of a calculated move to move the meeting to midday Friday with less visibility? Yes.
It's a very clever move because she wants to sneak in this raise without much resistance. And she was able to pull this off because some of the trustees didn't show up.
They're missing Carmen Carlisle is missing. Darlene Everett Gray is missing. And who else is missing? Jerry John. So we got 3 trustees missing.
Probably on purpose.
With less pushback from the Thornton Township trustees than she gets from the Dolton trustees, might she be able to slip in her little raise? Yes.
At this point, she has a rubber stamp vote anyway. The only person that gives her the dissenting vote is Chris Gonzalez, but she doesn't want more bad publicity. So I think this is what she wanted to do. Put it at a time that most people are not going to be able to attend there. The people can apply pressure, even though that, like I said before, she does have a rubber stamp vote because all the other trustees vote with her anything that she wants. A big difference compared to her being a mayor of Dolton, where she doesn't have that privilege. The problem is this looks bad anyway. While the average person is barely able to survive on what they get, she wants to give herself more money when she is already making over $250,000. It doesn't look great. So of course, despite that most people are suffering, inflation is out of control, people can barely afford groceries. Of course, if they had the ability to vote for a raise, they would themselves. So a politician is no different, despite the fact that Tiffany Henyard is making, like I said, over $250,000 a year. She took that salary over Frank Zuccarelli, the late Thornton Township supervisor. And despite the fact that he had that salary for being there for a number of years, decades, Henyard only been there for a few years and she's already receiving the top salary for her position. And the problem is when you don't have enough trustees, you can't have a quorum, you can't have a meeting. And it just seems like it was a tactical move by Tiffany A. Henyard to avoid all of the scrutiny.
Could the missing trustees have been in cahoots with good old Tiff Tiff? Yes, yes, and yes.
I think she did that to avoid all of the craziness that happened at the annual Thornton Township meeting. If you guys remember, the lack of respect she has for the residents is not surprising, but sad. The fact that she had those people wait to show up late to tell people the meeting is over. There is no meeting, must be rescheduled. Shows that she don't really give a damn about these residents. She doesn't want the bad publicity, but I think it's possible that she will be surprised on Friday at 1 p.m. That is just my feeling, that people will still show up because it's their money, it's taxpayers' money.
Even with all the extra eyeballs on the Thornton Township and the village of Dolton, good old Tiff Tiff has been cavalier and brazen throughout this entire process. I can see her trying to pass go as many times as possible before the go directly to jail pops up. But guys, let me know what you all think. Do you think she purposely postponed this meeting to Friday at 1 o'clock so not that many people would see it? And if she's going to still try to slip her little raise inside the whole meeting as well? Let me know. Until next time, guys, peace and stay informed.